All right. Again, I'm not going to do a lot at once. Just a majority of some of these holes because of the mixing time, like we learned our lesson before. All right, put this back here. Grab our hardener. And a little dab will do ya. Just like that. It's all you need for this. Oh my gosh. You do want to put the lid on the first try. That would help. All right. Let's fold this bad boy in, huh? Doing it this way, doing it that way, doing it this way, doing it that way. Want to get all that blue mixed in so that it's all the same color. All right. Let's make our first attempt here. We're going to go down in it this way. Get it all in there. Picking it up from here where I don't want it necessarily and going flat. Now I can feel this little rubber knife grabbing this dip. Remember I showed you that dip at the top? I can feel this knife grabbing that dip at the top of this. So I'm going to drag it off this direction now. See that? That's going to fill. See how that body filler is brighter right there at that edge? Because before when I was going through it, my weight was on that edge. Now coming from this direction, and I'm not pressing my thumb into it. I'm just letting the edge keep itself, right? I can deal with any slop later up here, but I want to make sure that this is filled. Now, I'm shallow right there. This is starting to harden, maybe a little bit too much. I'm still going to try to work this in nice and deep right here. You can feel that with the rubber knife as you're going over it. You can feel that hole. So I'm just trying to be gentle. I'm kind of putting more pressure on the edges of the blade. So if anything, it might mound in the middle, and I can take that high out with my sanding block. Now I'm coming over here. The important thing is to not work with too much material and get globs of it going. Keep working it. It's getting a little bit more tacky right now, and I should have been done with it, I think. So I'm calling it. That's good. All this will sand off. All these edges, that'll sand off. And I think that's my final coat. And look, for the second time, I think I've got my amounts about figured correctly. And this was by far the best work I've got as far as the time that I got out of it. Now this one right here, I can see the imperfections in this still. I think I'm gonna let this dry another 15 minutes and come back and fill this part again. This part here and these 3 holes here, they fill nicely, I believe. I can see a little bit of imperfection there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's high or low from the putty. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that right there. I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that last part right there. So once you decided that it's dry and you're going to be finished working it, don't come back and try to take out just that little line on the, like, that was so easy to clean up. I already mentioned it to you guys. Yeah, definitely low spot right there. I'll come back and hit again. All right. I'm gonna go clean my paddle, and we'll get another one going after this dries. Got my sanding block back out. We're gonna come knock some of this off. On this lip of the fender where it rolls over, I'm being pretty harsh on what you don't want to do normally when you're sanding with like paint and stuff like that is to take off the paint on that high spot on the transition from where the fender rolls into the body. But since we're going to be shooting this with paint anyways, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about getting all this sanded down smooth, getting the body filler out of here. But you do want to get the excess body filler material off of here. Let's check our sanding pad. We're pretty full up. So I'm gonna, I just got this at O'Reilly's. You just Velcro it off and slap on a new one real quick. All right, this is gonna have a stronger bite to it now. Oh no, I just sanded my door. Meant to open the door. Don't forget to do that, people. Sometimes it's the little things. Now remember, this low spot that was right here, I can still feel it just a little bit, and it is low. So I'm going to be sure that I don't work my way down in there too far with the sanding block. And I keep that completely filled. So what I'm attempting to do is keep all of my dugout space, which is getting hard to see. So we're about from here to here. I'm trying not to go completely outside of the sanding block and all that. It's hailing. I'm gonna pause the video here. All right, I'm just getting ready to mix the last batch here. If you can hear the hail on the roof, I apologize. But we're getting ready to finish this project. It's getting cold outside, about 30 degrees. I don't have a heated shop here. I got the hardener pretty high up on the board. Trying to do my best to smear it as far as I can and work it all in. I'll use the lip of the plate here. Yeah, it's still blue on it. See that? There's still blue in it. So I'm trying to get that worked in, but work it in quickly. All right. Time to take a smaller amount here. And we're going to fill in this hole. Whoa, buddy. That's a lot there, buddy. The more the merrier. Filling holes here still. Whew, my hand is cramping up. Oh no. This is the last thing we need. Now I'm doing it lefty, people. This is the last thing we needed. It really is. I still feel that hole there. I still feel it. I'm going to try to goop on a little bit extra right over that so that I can sand it smooth. I think I really don't like this ridge right here, but I'm scared to try to take it out. There's still a low spot right there, boys. There's still a low spot right there, and I'm losing the feel. This is not good. All right. One more attempt, one more scoop, and then we're leaving it. This is going to have to be sanded smooth. This is not looking good. But that's all of it. That's all the body filling we're doing. I think that's the works. I think that's everything. So we used all of it again, but again, I could have been better right here. I could have been faster. It's about 30 degrees in here. My hands are cold and I'm cramping. So unfortunately, I think if I would have waited and done this tomorrow, this would be cleaner. I'm really not happy about the finish on that, just because I wanted to put forth my best effort, and I don't think I did that with this job here. So anyways, I'm going to stop the tape there, and I'll start sanding this down a little bit. There's a lot to sand here. I'm not going to capture all that. I only have 2 gigs left on the camera before this video started. So, all right, so we're back here the next day. It's been 30 degrees, 0 degree wind chill. Actually, I think it was a low of 17. Wind chill of 0. It was raining, sleeting, hailing, snowing all yesterday. My hands are starting to cramp in the cold last night trying to get this done. So this is real ugly. So we're going to have a lot of work getting this trued out. So let's begin. I'm going to start with this bottom edge. Just do the easy stuff first. It's good to have moral victories, right? Or little mental victories that help us feel like we're getting somewhere. My piece of sandpaper is getting the Velcro filled in, and it's making it difficult to go forward because it's snagging. There's so much material to take out here, it's crazy. That might not have been the best plan to just goop it in here. I don't want to do too much finish work here because I'm afraid to lose it. It's pretty close. It's a little bit high. You can just feel it when you run your finger over it. This ridge right here that was taken out in the door, that little roll right there. So and then like up here there's nothing. The hole is down here. So all this needs to come off, which is going to be a lot of elbow grease. And maybe the plan should be to buzz this down with a drill with some, because I believe this is 80 grit as well. Maybe that's what I'll do. I can always add more Bondo. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit this real quick, try to zip this down with the drill. 1 second. It's all 80 grit paper, so we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to go too fast with it. This is all hot on this bottom rim. Fresh bit of sandpaper here. This bottom here is pretty good. Again, I don't want to do that too much. Get it right, and then because I'm working the rest, still have an issue. All right, I know my biggest problem was about right here. In this area, I can see fresh metal there. I think I feel a little bit of a low right here. I think it went too far. This feels good. So I think these lows in here, I think I might have a little bit of a high right here. I'm going to get a straight edge and lay it across and see what that looks like. All right, so I've got you back over here, and we're going to reapply just a very, very small amount of this Bondo this time around. just to fill in this little low spot right here. And to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure how to go with this small amount, such a small amount of Bondo. Just prying the lid open with the edge of my plastic spoon. Right here. I'm kind of pressing my fingers through the bottom of the plate, try to get more, and then squeegee it out. Here. Now I'm going to grab, again, just a little dab of that hardener with that much. Okay, I'll do a little bit more than that. But that's it. All right. I'll open this top part first. I feel like my mixing process has gotten worse the more I've done it, rather than that first time. All right. Getting a little bit of a cramp in my thumb. I have this top edge the way I want it. I do not want more there. I do not want more on this bottom edge. But I can feel my paddle dipping a little bit as I go across this low section. I can feel my paddle dipping into it some. Not entirely sure why that is. I'm going to try pressing lighter and pressing mainly on the edges so the board doesn't warp in any. I'm sensing I want a little bit right here on this edge. I'm just kind of feathering that by hand, light, and then lifting. I can see a little bit of a low, like a cut in it right here. And I can see a little bit right here. So I want to make sure those are highs and not lows, because I wanted this to be the last time I do any putty on here. And maybe this last little bit right here that I did, this might be too much. Oh, that was definitely too much right there. All right, I'm done. Should have stopped. I think I've said that after almost every single time. So, all right. We'll let that dry, and we'll come back and sand it smooth here in a second. So now I'm just going to keep sanding on all this that we did yesterday. Got some big stuff to knock off here. Yep, that just chips right off. Now this right here, I never needed any. So I'm just going to try to sand this all the way off. All the way clean. There we go. Really goes to show you how much a block works where, you know, I'm not, if I go that hard right here, you know, that's because there's low spots in it. You know, I did that right here, and now I'm back to bare metal, or not bare, but, you know, to where there wasn't any work to be done. So that tells me I'm on the right track up here. I'm trying to go in two directions, or at least not one direction, as much as I can. It's a little bit difficult area to do that since you want to just go like this the whole time. And we're getting it done. So if you remember, there's a spot right here where I got my pick in there and I bent this metal. And that's actually the high now, right there, not the body work. I'm going to be done with this body work and save it for a lighter grit of paper. Big old pieces right here to shave off. Oh, crap. So you don't want to feel your line. So sometimes it just needs more sanding. So you can't feel it anymore. I can still feel this line right here. My worry is that I'm closing my eyes and I'm just trying to really concentrate on that feel. It doesn't feel like it's any it's just the lip of the putty. That's what it feels like. I don't think it's a dip. I don't think it's filling a dent. I don't think so. But I'm gonna try to concentrate just on this edge, not get too aggressive with it. Just feather that feel out of it. I did it pretty easily up on this part, but I'm still feeling it. I'm gonna keep going this direction, I think, because I don't want to dig it out. It just doesn't feel like a low to me. It feels high. This whole thing feels pretty good. It would take a body man to come know that that's not right for sure. I can feel where it's different, but like I'm actually a little bit high right here in the middle. There's actually a little bit of a dent right here, but yeah, I'm just not getting this edge sanded out of it. Let's see. Let's get more aggressive. We'll see what happens. Maybe I tank it. sure is getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. It's hard to use the block to your advantage doing this part right here because I just don't know. They always go side to side like that. Maybe that's the best way to do it. It's like spots of it still aren't very good. I just don't know if there's really much to take out of it. Ooh, that does feel better. I'm going to switch it to a lighter sandpaper now. All right, I think this is like 300 and something. I don't know what this one is exactly. All this feels really good, like one fender. This does not feel as good down here. I can feel the high right here as I go over it. I'm wondering now if I shouldn't have got a harder block or like a rigid block, because notice this, you can bend it, has more feel to it. And I don't know if that's good or not. Oh, so this is getting really caked in now. All right, so I messed up. All right, so I messed up and I didn't get the footage of me putting on the greaser Bondo glazing and spot putty, it's called. It's supposed to be just for a lot finer work. I'm using the 300 grit now. I think it's 380, and we'll see how smooth everything gets. I had a couple spots that weren't quite filling in. They have a little dent. I had an interesting spot right here where it was like where I nicked the paint with like the grinding wheel or something. So I'm getting that spot out. Whenever my sanding block starts to get gummed up a little bit, I just hit it with a little bit of air. And it cleans it off. I feel like whenever this gets gummed up, it starts taking, it changes the geometry and it doesn't make it a plane anymore, and it starts taking out gouging. strips. So that's why I started doing that. I'm not sure if that's a real thing to worry about, but I just felt like that's what was happening to me. This putty went on really strange. I wish that I would have got that on camera for you guys. It was almost like like snot. Like it would come out. It was and it would try to like smear around. It was not. It wasn't really pasty like regular Bondo was. One of the strange things about this, it's a contrasting color, right? So some of the places you can see right there where it's these little spots, those were little dents before, and now that feels perfectly smooth, but it still looks like kind of like a dent or little spots because of the contrasting color. Put you right here and show you this part. I'm going pretty light, not pushing real hard. I don't want to knock anything down on accident. Just wanting to take off what's supposed to be coming off. If you remember this spot right here where my pick got in there and I bent this piece of metal and I couldn't get that back straight. So this is kind of a weird body filling job right there where I'm trying to get this smooth, and it is pretty much all smooth now. The problem with this is you want to get any excess off because it's going to stand up, right? This is all feathered in now nicely. All right, we're going down here. You can really see how streaky this glaze was. It didn't spread the same at all, but it's much finer. You know, it's more like it's like spreading in a thick water almost, and that's how it fills all the thinner spots. It almost doesn't really need to be spread so much. With the Bondo, you're spreading it with the knife and filling in the spots. And I felt with the glaze, it's so watery or what, you're just trying to keep it on the car. It was dripping off and stuff. It was almost like aggressive in terms of the difficulty on keeping it where I wanted it. When you start doing these edges like on your fender here, it really is hard on the sandpaper, it feels like. Trying to feel this edge and find out what is rough, because it's imperfect and what's rough because it needs like body work. You know, there's screws, there's holes. I just don't even know, to be honest. Especially on this inside. I'll show you what this inside looks like. It's pretty bad. But I'm not really worried about that so much as far as the finished product. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing there. But I want this lip to be smooth. This transition here. And it doesn't seem like it is. You can see, like right here, where it looks like there's a crack. That's smooth now. That's been filled in from this glaze stuff. The stuff does a really nice job. More than I thought it would, to be honest. This right here is a little bit of a low, where you see that heavy concentration of putty. That would be a lot of glaze to fill that. That's not practical for the glaze. This needs more Bondo in it if I really wanted to fix that spot. But it's just something where you could. The lowest point is right here. It all slopes towards that. But I just feel like it's not that big of a difference at the end of the day. I think the biggest thing I need to focus on now is my transition zones. I might come back with the glaze. I don't think these transition zones need any here. Maybe on this backside. I'm going to try to sand this a little on the backside here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This backside right here, you can see some holes. And really, I should have filled that with the glaze. Actually, yeah, I can see now. I'm not going to be able to sand that. See if I can get in decently close with the camera. See that main chip right there? That is not going to sand out. I'm going to have to take that whole thing down. So what that needs is a little bit of glaze fill. And this spot right here, this was the first place I put the glaze, and that's where it was at its runniest. I felt like, or I was the most surprised. So I'm going to go through now and just dab some of that on there. I don't know if you're supposed to massage it or do anything with it. Should probably clean this first, though. Got the mineral spirits out. All right, we'll let this dry a bit, and then I'll hit that spot. All right. get this dry. It is dry, I mean. All right. Don't need any here. Don't want any there. I want some here. Oh yeah, I want some right there. I want some on that top. I want some on that bottom. All right. We'll see how this goes. This might be interesting. We're getting this about perfect now, y'all. Yeah. A little bit more right here. All right. So perfect. That went, I feel a lot better about that application than I did the previous one. All right. Wipe our blade off. Whoop. All right, we'll let this sit and we'll come back in a few minutes and sand it down. All right, just got back from eating and we're going to sand what we've got here right quick. Should be pretty quick and easy. Again, I'm using the finest sandpaper that I have for this block, which is I think a 380. And the purpose of this application, this last application, was to get all my transitions as good as I could get them. And that's butter right there. And there's nothing to any of that. Make sure I didn't get anything down here. I'm doing that when I do these lips, these edges, most of the time, if I've already got the rest the way I want up here, I don't want to mess that up. So this was really light. Perfect. All right, let's move on. Let's degum our sandpaper a little bit here. I have a, that's weird. So my old transition zone was about right here. And now It's almost like I've found another low spot to fill by going further out. I had some more work to do. So that's interesting. And you can tell because there's this darker spot right here, which means that's a low. It's kind of interesting. Need more on that bottom side. Nice and easy. Don't want to take too much material and ruin that transition. Still need to keep going some. There we go. It's a lot better. Want a little bit more out of this transition on the front side. Our zone was about right here. And I'm basically feeling that zone again. That's what I'm feeling when I go over it. Oh. So I increased my pressure a little bit that time. And with this sandpaper, pressure does a lot. So I did about as much that time than I had done the whole rest of it combined. All right, let's go this bottom part here. Those two little dots right there are not smooth. That's not what I wanted at all. Going to have to fill that again. All right, this little problematic spot, about right there, I have a nick. And where I was like doing this, and then like the drill bit hooked and went like bam and stabbed the fender. That has not been easy to get out so far because it's right on the lip. So I keep knocking it down too hard, I believe, is the problem. It's also deep enough that it needed actual body filler and not that, and I didn't get it on the body filler. That's smooth there now. And I just ruined it. Fun. All right, one more time on this little bit over here. You don't want to knock off in big chunks when you first attack it because it'll peel off together. So you just kind of want to get it going a little bit at a time. And once you get it down to where it's not grabbing, big ripples, then you can start going at it more aggressively. It's this bottom, it's the lip on it That's adding some issues, some complications. And this is not rust. This is damaged from me being too aggressive with my drill. I was getting in there and hooking. So whenever it would snag, and I would do more damage. So that's another thing to think about. Like if I had to do this all over again with the drill, I would probably put a few layers of masking tape over this to try to protect it as much as I could. Also, when you have these little foam blocks, you can do things like just using the corner, because I don't want to disturb my line here that I worked so hard for to get blended and start taking too much or anything like that. But I also don't want to just dig a hole right here and have a low spot then on this top above it right here, right? So I just want to go nice and easy, just take a little bit and feel it a lot. There's smoothness. There we go. That helped a lot. A lot. All right. We are so close to done. I need a little dab right here and another. I think that is it. A little dab right here, and that is all. So, see if we can get that done. Now, I'm going to start doing the finish work on this, getting the primer done. I ordered the paint from my local Dodge dealer. It should be here soon. But I'm already starting to get rust on this bare metal and body filler that I did. So I'm not sure how much I've kind of ruined what I started, but I went back to O'Reilly's, and in these little Velcro blocks, you buy the sandpaper with the blocks. So that's kind of annoying, but the whole price is I think like 15 bucks maybe. So it's not like it's, breaking the bank every time. It's just a little annoying to have eventually all these little Velcro blocks floating around. So this one goes up to 1500 grit. This one's got a 400,000 and 1500. I do not see myself wet sanding some fancy paint job with 1500 grit paper here, but I've got up to like 600 in the other kit that I got. So I'm gonna get this rust off and then get it ready to shoot some primer. I'm not exactly sure where my tape and drape is. Hopefully I didn't leave it at home. So. All right, well, as you can see, my fender has now been shot with primer, and I'm ready to wait for my paint to get here from the local Dodge dealer. I gotta apologize to you guys. I made a mistake in the recording, and I always just put my phone on my tripod, and instead of pushing play to take a video, I snapped a picture, and now we have no video of the project. But everything went real smooth. There was nothing really changed or happened. Just got my can of primer, and it was from O'Reilly's in a rattle can, and just took 10 seconds and it was done. But I messed it up and didn't get it on camera, so I apologize. Anyways, that's all for right now. I'll put my wheel back on, and we'll resume shooting once the paint gets in. See ya. Hey guys, again, really sorry about not getting that primer shot on there on detail on the camera, but like I said, it was super easy. Wiped it down with some lacquer thinner. Done. It really took no time at all. There's almost no skill involved. But I apologize for making a mistake on that. It has been over 2 weeks since I ordered my paint. I do not have it yet, but it's already paid for, which is kind of annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload this without the paint, and I'll make another video when I get my paint job finished. So
for now, that's all. I have another video coming of my new wheels that I put on, so I think that'll be the next upload after this one. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Like and subscribe, and have a good one.